Hello everyone, welcome to The Old Man and the Read. My name is Jerry. Today I'm going to be recording the final discussion I'm going to be doing on literary awards. I've done several videos of other literary award winners, and this will be the last one I'm going to do. It's a very obscure award that I've read quite a few of the authors, but not every or all of them. But it's the America Award, and it's a lifetime achievement award similar to the Nobel. And in fact, they call this a modest alternative to the Nobel. But the reason I'm going to present it is because these literary awards have been a terrific resource for me to discover new writers. And this one introduced me to several really good new writers that I'm reading and will continue reading. I haven't been at this award that long. It does have a couple of writers that I've already read quite a bit from, but anyway, I will go ahead and show you what I've read from this award. I'll be basically just showing the books and not a lot of discussion about them. But my plan is to, after this video, start recording individual reviews and based on writers, their books, and then a discussion of the books themselves. So this award started in 1994, and the first award was given to Aimé Césaire of Martinique. And I've just read this one small little book, but it was quite good actually. Then in 1995, the winner was Harold Pinter. There's several writers that appear in a few of these literary awards, and Harold Pinter is one of those. This is the only book I've read by him. It's a book of plays, The Homecoming. Okay, in 1996, is one of the writers I really want to read more of. I've only read two of his books, but Jose Donoso from Chile, and what I've read so far is Curfew and The Lizard's Tale. But he's a writer that is quite good, and I want to read more from him. In 1997, the winner was Frederica Mayrocker, and I haven't read anything by her. And 1998, the winner was Rafael Alberti from Spain. I haven't read anything from him. Then in 1999, the winner was Jacques Robond from France. And actually, I'm quite intrigued by his writing. I've read some that I really like and some that weren't that good, but I plan on reading more. The first I'll show you is a book of poetry, Something Black, or Something Black. And this is an exceptional book of poetry. His wife died at a very young age, and in fact that's kind of a subject that he's had in several of his books, but there's some just really incredible poetry in this book. Then the next book by him is Hortense in Exile, and to be honest, I didn't think this was that good at all. So from one exceptional book to one that I really didn't like. But then there's a couple of books that I thought were quite good. He's a different writer, and I hope to do a video discussing his work. But the next one is The Great Fire of London and The Loop. And these are quite interesting. I look forward to trying to convey what they were about. Okay, then in the year 2000 was Eudora Welty from the U.S., and I've read a few of her books. The first is The Optimist's Daughter, and she's somebody I had read before I discovered this award. The other is Delta Wedding. And then the last of the books that I've read by her is Selected Stories of Eudora Welty. In 2001, the winner was Inger Christensen, but I haven't read any book by that writer. In 2002 is a name who appears in several of these literary awards. It's Peter Hadke. He's a writer. I've only read this one book, The Goalie's Anxiety at the Penalty Kick. And I honestly did not care for this book at all, but he's obviously quite well respected. He's in just about all of the literary awards, but personally I didn't care for it. In 2003, it's a writer just called Adonis from Syria. I haven't read. And then in 2004 is a writer who I think I've read just about his entire production of books. There's probably a few I haven't, but Jose Saramago. He's an incredible writer. I think I consider him probably the finest writer from the present day. But I'll go through the books. I've got quite a number of them. So Jose Saramago from Portugal. This is The Lives of Things. Manual of Painting and Calligraphy. Small Memories. The Elephant's Journey. Baltasar and Blamunda. The History of the Siege of Lisbon. The Year of the Death of Ricardo Reis. All the Names. Death with Interruptions. The Double. Cain. Skylight. Blindness. Seeing. The Stone Raft. The Cave. The Gospel According to Jesus Christ. And then the last book I have from him is Raised from the Ground. But he's definitely one of the writers I'm planning on doing a review of his books, and I hope to do it as one of my first videos of these reviews. Okay, then in 2005 was Andrea Zanzotto. Haven't read anything. But 2006 6 is a writer I'm really intrigued with. Again, it's one really fascinating book and one that wasn't quite as good, I didn't think. But Julien Gracq from France. The first is Balcony in the Forest. And this is just an exceptionally well written book. It's about soldiers in a bunker during World War II that are stationed in near the Belgian border as Germans were advancing into Belgium, and they're in an idyllic situation in the forest, quiet, silent, idyllic situation, but Gracq was able to just build his narrative, becoming a little more and a little more ominous as things progressed. I mean, it's just exceptionally well written. And the other one, the other book of his that I read is The Shape of a City, and it was okay. It wasn't. It's about his hometown. I don't even remember what the hometown was, but it wasn't that great. But I plan on reading more because that first book was just incredible. Next, in 2007, is another writer who's in a lot of these literary awards. It's Paavo Hevekko from Finland. I've read the one book, 1 and 20. 2008, the winner was John Ashbery of the USA, and I haven't read anything by him. 2009 is Günter Kunnert of Germany. Haven't read anything by them yet, or him. Then in 2010 is a writer who I discovered from this award. Really quite a good writer. It's Javier Marias of Spain, and I'll go through the list of books I read. The Man of Feeling, A Heart So White, The Infatuations, and Tomorrow in the Battle, Think on Me. He's a writer I really want to do reviews on, but I want to read a few more of his books yet. He's really quite good. In 2011, the winner was Ko Un of South Korea. He's a poet, but I read this one novel, Little Pilgrim, because usually poets write really great novels, but because they use such, descriptive prose in their writing. But I have to say, Ko Un really disappointed me in this one. He almost did no descriptive prose at all in this, and the story just was not that interesting. Anyway, I think it was supposed to be kind of or similar to Siddhartha, but it came very short of ever coming close. In 2012, the winner was Ivo Michel of Belgium, and I haven't read anything. In 2013, the winner was Rainer Kunz, and I haven't read anything. In 2014, the winner was Laszlo Krasznahorki of Hungary, and I've read one book, and it was actually quite interesting. The World Goes On, very differently written than anything else I'm familiar with, but it was interesting enough that I want to continue reading some of his other books. But this is the only one I've read so far. In 2015, the winner was Edward Albee of the USA, and he wrote poetry, or not poetry, drama, and I've just read the one, Three Tall Women. But it was actually a very clever play. Okay, 2016, the winner was Cesar Area of Argentina, and he's a writer I actually had read before I started this literary award, so I've read a few of his. All of his books are short little books. The first is The Buddhist Monk, Emma the Captive, Shantytown, How I Became a Nun, Veramal, An Episode in the Life of a Landscape Painter, probably my favorite of his books. This was quite an exceptional book. And finally, The Musical Brain. Kind of a colorful cover. But I really enjoyed his work. In 2017, the winner was Tom Stepard from Czechoslovakia, UK, it says. And I've just read this one little play, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. In 2018 is one of the writers that I read quite a bit before I started this literary award. It's Haruki Murakami from Japan, and I read Kafka on the Shore, Sputnik Sweetheart. This is a little tiny book called Birthday Girl. A Wild Sheep Chase. The Elephant Vanishes. The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. This is two novellas in one book, Wind and Pinball. And the last of his books is IQ 84. In 2019, the winner was Nicole Brossard from Canada. And I've only read one book. It's Mauve Desert. It was an interesting book, so I'm planning on reading more, but I really haven't formed a strong opinion of her work yet. In 2020, the winner was again one of those writers I've read quite a bit from, who I had already read before the award. It's Mario Vargas Llosa from Peru, and I'll show you what I've read from him. The Storyteller, The Greenhouse, The Feast of the Goat, The Real Life of Alejandro Mata, Captain Pageau and the Special Service, The War of the End of the World, Aunt Julie, or Julia and the Scriptwriter. Who Killed Palomino Molero? The Way to Paradise. The Discreet Hero. Death in the Andes. The Neighborhood. And The Bad Girl. Then in 2021, the winner was Rosemarie Waldrop from Germany. And she's a name I was familiar with just because some of the books I've read were actually translated by her. But I've only read one little book that she's written, Language of America. And it was really a interesting book, quite different from anything else I've read. She's a translator and a poet, and she actually combined both of those in this book. But it was taken from a book written in, I think, 1643 by Roger Williams, I believe, and it was a story, or he wrote about one of the Indian tribes in New England, and she interpreted his old English prose. So it's a translation of that work, but then she translated into more poetic narration, and some of it was fairly abstract poetry. And then anyway, it was quite inventive. She inserted various words, and I think she had another poem that she included with it. But anyway, interesting. I'd like to read something else from her, but that's all I've got from her so far. And then in 2022, the winner was Gerhard Röhm from Austria, and I haven't read anything by him. But anyway, that concludes this presentation of the America Award, and this will be the last of the literary awards I present. I do have some other literary awards that I've been working on reading, but I really haven't read enough of the works to do it as a full video yet. So I want to thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you on another video. Thanks.